Now, this Kyler Murray thing is interesting, right? Because you and I talked about this a little bit before the show. And for those who don't know, they put Kyler Murray on injured reserve, and he don't sound like he that hurt. Like, it sounds like it'd be like, oh, he'll be ready to play any day now. And that day they're waiting on is when Jacoby Brissett stops playing well. And I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong. He's been cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like he's been excellent. But
you're talking about Jacoby now, yeah.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, yeah. But he's been all right. However, Marvin Harrison Jr. was looking like a flat-out bust, and now he doesn't look like a bust anymore. They've won some games, and important point here, people don't like that little dude. They don't. It is the story I've told you that I don't tell in front of people. People don't like Kyler Murray. He a different sort of cat. That is definitely part of what is going on here. But I am hearing people making this argument now that, hey, man, maybe they just stick with him. And is Jacoby, I guess my question is Jacoby Brissett's growth arc long enough that he could really be better than Kyler Murray right now?
No. I mean, he could be better for what they're doing right there. But I think Jacoby Brissett is like isn't he participating in those backup quarterback commercials for some insurance company? Like, Jacoby know who Jacoby is at this point. So I think that Jacoby as a backup quarterback should be like, his results are going to be predictable. There's no like super crazy high end. There's not going to be super crazy low end. The problem with Kyler Murray is you're paying him and you're expecting him to be able to give you more consistent high end. And he can't do that in part because of like the physical limitations. At least I'm assuming that's the reason why he doesn't attack the middle of the field, which is like, it's very limiting on offense. And he makes up for it with some explosiveness, but he doesn't make up for it nearly enough. And I think this goes back to like another criticism that's been made of him, that we all got annoyed when they put that clause in the contract. Maybe we could have about him needing to study and whatever. Like, yeah, maybe the clause shouldn't be in the contract, but they ain't just pull out a clause out their ass that ain't never been used before. They didn't just be like, hey, you know what, we want to innovate? Like,
yeah, the clause was stupid, but the reason was real.
Right. So I think those things. And so the best way that I've tried to think about this is sitting him down for a little bit. Maybe this is your last chance, your last effort to get his attention and try to help correct whatever issues you have with him. But I don't think sticking with Jacoby for the rest of the season is like a great idea.
All right. Here is the Alonzo Mourning GIF. You know what I mean? The one of him sitting on the bench. And I'm going to act it out myself. They would never take no white man's job away to give it to Jacoby Brissett. But Jacoby Brissett still got a job. Right? Look, I've heard the way they talk about Jacoby Brissett, okay? I know how y'all feel about Jacoby Brissett. Like, I understand this. With all the talent Kyler Murray has and everything else, you ain't bailing out just that soon. However, there was a time when Jacoby Brissett would be somewhere parking cars or pumping gas, but nope, he's up there keeping the seat warm for Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray needs to understand they didn't want to have to go to Jacoby Brissett because that is a quarter black, which is what you do when you want to support the starter. But at the same time, he is also an actual factual backup. So just in case, he did put them in the situation. He's the best of both worlds if you got a black quarterback. Now that I think about it, that's what they need behind. They needed him behind that Jordan Love.
I didn't realize. So like, I knew we were going to touch on this, but not until this moment did I realize how revolutionary this really is. Like, in a time where progress is hard to find.
Yes.
It's because it's not just the idea that you have to get a black quarterback in order not to have people, fans behind, when you have a starting black quarterback, have fans asking for the backup quarterback. That was a step that was shocking to me. And that came after the idea of Jacoby Brissett as a concept even existing. Like, you are a journeyman career backup black quarterback. That is all huge and amazing. But the point that you just reminded me of is we've gotten to a point where there is clamoring for the backup black quarterback to start. I never thought I'd see the day that clamoring would exist. Can you imagine if there was, at one point, there was a white starter and people was like, hey, you got to get Jacoby Brissett in there.
Yo, I was about to say, I don't think this has happened since Randall Cunningham took Ron Jaworski's job.
Randall Cunningham is a world-class sprinter.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. That is correct. I can't remember whose job Vince Young eventually took. You know what I'm saying? But the difference is, it's different when it's the young hot shot that we talking about.
Yeah,
we just talking about Jacoby.
No, I mean, I think it's fair to remember that you often point out the Cam Newton story. That's what we're talking about.
Yes. When they were calling for Derek Anderson, yes. So put it like this: the Colts brought Daniel Jones in to take Anthony Richardson's job. That was the point. They paid him you don't pay people $14 million in the NFL to not play. Right? They brought him in to take that young man's job. Okay. That is not why they brought Jacoby Brissett to the Arizona Cardinals. He about to be the starter by popular demand.
It's amazing to me. I had never seen that happen before. Like, it's not a thing that happens where they have a young quarterback who they've invested in, and his contract is too onerous for them to even trade. That's how much they committed to.
They've given it a try,
and they like, hey, maybe this IR need to be extended a little bit.
Hold on, they didn't just give him a try. They basically hired a coach to draft him. Or they got the coach, like the relationship between he and Kingsbury, who look, it could have worked out better, but it could have worked out way worse. But that was a ridiculous hire. He just got fired at Texas Tech. They hired him there, and then it's like, yo, Kyler Murray, I'm hitching my whole career to you, buddy. Okay, cool. And then he left, and they're like, well, this next guy, your career is hitched to him too.
Yeah, and this next guy don't seem like
no, he's had enough.
Given some of the things that he's said and done, I don't think he's gonna be willing to go without a fight.
No. He's not gonna let Kyler Murray get him fired. Right? Like that's
he's gonna go ahead and get himself fired if he get fired.
When the coach make the decision to go to Daniel Jones or to go to Jacoby Brissett, particularly those guys that you're looking at as perhaps having a limited ceiling, what you're saying is what he's not gonna do. Is get me fired. Zach Taylor being like, can we get Joe Flacco, please? Because Jake Browning is not going to get me fired. Joe Flacco might get me fired, and that's fine. But I'm not going to let Anthony Richardson get me fired. Exactly. I see it coming down the pike. I'm not letting him get me fired.
Yeah, he's like, y'all GM, was it Ballard? Like, you got all excited about all these physical traits. You saw Josh Allen and you gave them to me. But nah, that ain't going to define my career. And Steichen has shown that even if it don't work out there, he's reminded people, like, I can do this. He'll get another shot. And I think that's what Gannon is trying to do now.
Hey, at what point does Dave Canales say that I'm not letting Bryce Young get me fired?
I think they winning out here. Rico gonna save my job.
That's what I was about to say. Rico need to be the quarterback. Like, they're winning, and I don't have a great answer for it. But all the way around, the Bears, good thing they got around to start winning some games, because Ben Johnson was going to have to ask the question: am I going to let Caleb Williams get me fired? So here's the thing, though: if Sam Darnold gonna have a real job now for a while, and Daniel Jones gonna have a real job now for a while, and hey, Jacoby Brissett might be playing himself into a job, but who the new Grim Reaper, right? Who's the new guy that if you hear that your team, if you're the starting quarterback and they have brought him in, right? Like, Russell Wilson is now the new, like, if they bring him in, all right, you straight.
Yeah.
You good. But who the new, and it's funny because I was going to say, is what Kurt Warner was when the Giants got him and what they wanted Kurt Warner to be when he went to the Cardinals, but then he just ate Matt Leinart up. He was just like, nah, give me that.
I mean, Carson Wentz had his chance to be that guy.
He did.
Yeah, he bounced around. Like, he followed the same trajectory as...
Lots of people gave it a try. He turned into Jacoby Brissett. You'd much rather have Jacoby Brissett now than to have Carson Wentz.
It was like Baker, like the journey Baker went on to, where it was so bad, a bunch of different places, and Carson Wentz was like, yep, finally got my opportunity. And it didn't quite work out, and they tried to hurt that man. Oh, no, he kept wanting to go back in.
Yes.
I mean, it ain't Tyrod, is it? Like, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, if I say who does Tua need to be looking out for? Because Tyrod, I think, done got too old.
Yeah, I think Tua. Yeah.
Well, who's the guy that's going to like fall from wherever they are to then come back and become that person, right? Like maybe you need somebody to fall off of look, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Mac Jones. Because
Oh,
they've
yeah,
already
Mac
given
Jones.
they've already
Yeah,
given Purdy
right.
that money. Now, are Mac Jones and Brock Purdy the same person? It's on the board. But Purdy already has a contract.
How many years did Mac sign that contract for? Because he free right now. Somebody gonna give him a pretty penny to come in to make the starter
Oh,
nervous.
I have a sneaky suspicion that I know where Mac Jones is going to be the quarterback next year. The New York Jets.
No.
Hey man, look, they got to show some signs of life soon. Like they've got all these assets to go get a quarterback, but in the meantime, tween time, if you can go get Mac Jones for $14 million
Yeah.
to hold it down, hey, he may be okay. I don't believe this. I watched Kyle Shanahan do this with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, it ain't him. He
He's
could have
cooked.
been him. Yeah. I
He's
don't know.
cooked.
I think Mac Jones is the only one. I think that Trevor Lawrence gonna be might be looking for a new city in the next
Yeah, but
coming seasons.
but
But he
he's
gonna
too
get a starting
good.
job. Yeah, he
Yeah,
gonna get a
exactly.
starting job. He gonna get a starting job somewhere else, right?
I guess what I'm really trying to say in all of this is if you keep working hard, Spencer Rattler, and keep at it, it may take a couple years,
Yeah.
but I mean, he has talents, right? He could become the boogeyman.